Okay, good afternoon, and thank you to the staff we have here in attendance for our CDBG 2022 Annual Action Plan Open House. Tonight's meeting is to discuss the next year's annual action plan for the HUD CDBG program. I am Matt Gohl, Special Projects Manager for the town. We do also have our grant administrator, Karen Story, in the audience as well, and she directly coordinates the CDBG program for the town. Currently, we do not have any public on the call. We do have some staff in attendance. We do appreciate you being here. So this is a hybrid meeting this afternoon with in-person and online attendees. The meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the town website at crgov.com/CDBG following this meeting. We will have a presentation tonight, followed by a question and answer period, and online participants will have their microphones muted until that time. Public input is a really important part of the CDBG plan development, and any questions or comments that might be received after this meeting can be directed to Karen Story, whose email will be provided later on, and we'd be happy to respond to those at that time. So the CDBG program is the Community Development Block Grant. It is a program provided through HUD. And tonight we're going to talk through an overview of the CDBG program, the 2021 program year review, what the intentions are for next year's annual action plan, next steps, and then we would open it up to questions and discussion at that point in time. So CDBG started in 1974, and as I mentioned, it is a program offered through HUD. The primary objective of this program is the development of viable urban communities. And you'll see throughout CDBG that the emphasis is on individuals with low to moderate household income. And really the goals for viable communities are to provide decent housing, a suitable living environment, and expanded economic opportunities. The CDBG program is requirements around it. The 5-year consolidated plan really drives the goals and the funding purposes for the plan. The town has developed a 2021 to 2025 consolidated plan, and we will talk about those strategic priorities later. But that plan does include a number of other items that includes a community assessment, market needs in the community, and also identifies the proposed activities that would be taken under the HUD program. The consolidated plan is based significantly on public input as well, and that input helps determine what activities we do fund through the grant funding here. All of this is managed through a program called IDIS. It is an online program that helps us with the backup information as well as monitoring the town's plans. We also have, after the consolidated plan, a 5-year period, we also have annual action plans. These plans are completed and submitted to HUD each year during the 5-year consolidated plan cycle. This annual action plan describes the specific planned uses for HUD programs and also reviews other program requirements. So what can CDBG be used for? The emphasis of these funds is to provide benefit to low and moderate income individuals. You can also use the funding to prevent or eliminate slums or blight in the community or other specific urgent situations, which you can see on the screen there. The eligible projects that can be used with CDBG funding include acquisition of real property, relocation or demolition, rehabilitation of residential or other structures, construction of public facilities, and also public services, which we will talk more about public facilities and public services shortly. Innovation in renewable energy, as well as helping businesses with economic development opportunities. As you'll see in following slides, the town has emphasized both public facilities and public services for approved funding purposes of the CDBG funds in Castle Rock. In the 2021 to 2025 consolidated plan, the town council approved the strategic priorities you see on the screen. Stepping back a little bit, Castle Rock did accept entitlement status in 2020. Following that acceptance in 2020, town staff began developing the consolidated plan, which was presented to town council in the summer of last year and approved in July of 2021. The consolidated plan was then submitted to HUD in August of 2021, and we have been following through on those funding priorities since that time. And you can see that the approved strategic priorities here are really connected to ADA improvements in the community, as well as supportive services for seniors. There is a limitation on the amount of funding that can be attributed to senior services or supportive services in general. However, the town is utilizing that portion of funding to help seniors at this time. For this year, the 2021 program year, the town's allocation of grant funding is just over $230,000. We are using the public services funding makes up 15% of that. And as you can see on the screen, the way we are utilizing that funding is through supporting the Castle Rock Senior Center. We have expanded the hot meal program through the Senior Center, and that program began in March 2022. At that point in time, we provided 24 meals to 3 participants. The following month, you can see that increased by 20 new participants and expanded to over 160 meals. For the 3 months that we have been supporting the Senior Center with this program, over 350 meals have been served to Castle Rock seniors through the CDBG funding. Additionally, a large portion of the CDBG funds are for public facility improvements, specifically linked to ADA accessibility improvements. As the town's Parks and Recreation Department is proceeding with a renovation at Butterfield Park for an accessible playground area, CDBG funds are being used to complement that project by ensuring that the restroom facilities at that park are ADA compliant. That project is just now underway with expected completion later this summer, and a total of roughly $150,000 is being utilized to support that project. And lastly, the town does utilize a 20% allocation to help with the administrative costs associated with managing the CDBG program. Looking forward to 2022, town staff will continue to support the programs and priorities identified in the 2021 to 25 consolidated plan. Those again are the public facilities and supportive seniors, really related to ADA improvements and senior programs there as well. You can see that the program funding for program year 2022 has gone up slightly to nearly $235,000, and you can see the funding allocation for each of the funding types that we will be proceeding with on the screen. So for next steps with CDBG, we are entering a public comment period. It's a 30-day period where the annual action plan for the town of Castle Rock is fully available for public review. It is available on the Town of Castle Rock website at crgov.com/CDBG. Physical copies are also located at the town hall front desk, as well as at the library in town. And the public comment period officially begins tomorrow, June 17th, and will run through July 18th. Again, if there are comments that anyone may have regarding proposed uses of these funds or any questions around the programming that we are considering, please direct those to Karen, our grant administrator, whose email address is on the screen and available on the page if you would like to send her information. Following the public comment period, we will implement any comments that are received into the annual action plan. And then the annual action plan will be taken to town council for approval or for their consideration on July 19th. Assuming approval, or if approved at that point in time, town staff will then submit the plan to HUD by the August 16th deadline, and the town's program year then starts on October 1st. So at this point, that provides the overview of CDBG, as well as where we've been in the past year with our funding and what we're looking to do moving forward. I did notice through the presentation that we have Councilmember Johnson on the line participating on this call as well. And so I would open it up to any of the staff in the room with any questions or comments that you may have, or Councilmember Johnson, if you have any comments as well, or questions, we'd be happy to take those at this time.
So will this presentation be available online somewhere?
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Johnson. This presentation will be available. We are actually recording this meeting at this point, and we will put a copy of this recording available on the website so individuals can listen to this if desired. And again, we will also be presenting similar information at the July 19th council meeting should others have feedback at that time as well.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. So seeing no other comments or questions on the 2022 annual action plan, we will go ahead and wrap this up. I do want to reiterate that development of the town's CDBG planning is significantly based on public input. So we really do value the input that we receive. We do encourage anyone hearing this to please provide your comments to us, and we will involve those in our planning process as we move forward. Just as a reminder, this public comment period for this plan is available through July 18th, and public comments will be encouraged and available during the July 19th town council meeting, where we present the annual action plan for council consideration. From there, if you are interested in staying up to date with the town's CDBG program, please visit our website again at crgov.com/CDBG. And otherwise, thank you for being a part of this meeting and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.